Hi everyone, it's Bob Crossan. I'm the editorial director for Endeavor Business Media. I'm with Ifetayo Venner. She is the outgoing WEF president, and she's also a senior vice president at Arcadis. Thanks for chatting with us again.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so we're here at WEFTEC. What's been something that's excited you about this WEFTEC this year?
So, WEFTEC, I love it. I've been coming here, I don't even know how long now. At some point I came when I was at YPE really early in my career and decided that I had to do whatever possible to come back. So I think the thing that excites me about WEFTEC in general is just getting to see all my friends and colleagues from around the country, around the world. So obviously that has been fantastic. But this year specifically, I think a lot of the enhancements around sustainability, social impact that WEF staff made to WEFTEC, some of them seen and unseen, and us going for a sustainability award, and then looking, setting that as the baseline, and then hoping to continue that. And then, of course, the opening general session for me. I mean, that it was really cool. And even as I was coming here, people were stopping me on the exhibit hall to say that they really appreciated that. It got them having conversations with people around the importance of engaging with your community, diversity, equity, inclusion, and things like that. So it was really cool to see the vision that I had, and then been working and collaborating with WEF staff and some others and the speakers to really see that come to life, probably even better than I imagined. And then just getting people talking and things like that, which is kind of what I wanted to do. I did not want the same sort of typical
structure
conference opening session where you just talk about all the great things you did, and then you have a speaker that's not necessarily in the industry and things like that. Not that they're bad, but I just, we talked a lot about storytelling in our strategic plan last year, and the importance of D&I and just being different and being bold. And so I felt like I wanted to live that through the thing. And so to see everyone really receive it in the way that it was intended is probably my biggest memory.
Yeah, well, it was a very powerful opening general session. I love that you had so many voices too. Right. It's very uncommon to have so many people speak and share stories. Right. And I think you definitely nailed it on the head if you're focusing on storytelling.
That you aren't as much used to seeing at water conferences, unfortunately. And I even had some feedback that some folks said that they walked into it and they're like, did I come to the wrong place? Like, what? This is not what I'm normally seeing at a water conference, but I love it. I feel welcome here, and absolutely the intent.
Yeah.
So I was glad to see that.
Well, yeah, so you've been president for the past year for WEF. What is something that you've learned over the course of that time that you hadn't known prior to that year of work with WEF?
So I've been on the board now, this is my 6th year, and then we have an officer rotation through the presidency. So you have, a couple of years to kind of prepare for it. And then I have a really good relationship with, Jamie Eichenberger, who was before me, and then some of the other past officers. So not a whole lot surprised me. They tell you it's a lot of work. It really is a lot of work, but it's, a bit of a labor of love. I think the thing that actually maybe surprised me is how much regard people have for the role. And when you go around, even internationally, like how much regard that is, and then how much influence you actually really do have. Maybe that surprised me a little, and maybe it shouldn't, but that was great though, because then that means people think really highly of the organization as well. So
they pay attention to your vision that you were talking about too.
Exactly. So, and when I said I wanted to do a different opening session, they're like, okay.
Yeah.
So that probably is what maybe surprised me the most, but everything else, I think we just try to do a really good job of making sure that we're, you have, in those 2 years, you're really being prepared for what's going on. And I hope I did that for Aimee as well, in including her in a lot of the things and decisions and whatnot that we had to make so that it's seamless for her as well. So.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned the keynote being a highlight for you too. Are there other memorable moments as you reflect on your time as WEF president that come to mind?
So the travel, as tiring it has been, I really love getting out to the member association. So I got to go Hawaii this year. I actually hadn't. I'm from an island, and I always thought, if I'm going to go to an island, I'll just go to mine. Yeah. But I got a chance to go there this year, and I had such an amazing time. Obviously their background is different, but it felt like home, because island people, I guess, there's just something similar about that. And I got to go to Singapore and travel with the DC water delegation as part of our U.S. ASEAN partnership. And
Yeah.
so I went with DC Water to our Malaysian visit, and that was so amazing. That was just absolutely great. I had such a wonderful time. They were so hospitable, and I just learned a lot that we're, again, we're just very similar, different parts of, the world, but having a lot of the similar challenges around water, and a lot that we can, learn from each other, and fantastic food. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it. And then, yesterday was our second Black in Water breakfast that I had started last year as a little bit of a thing to try to get a lot of Black water professionals, a lot of whom had actually come just to support me as I was starting my presidency. And that went from about 90 folks to 126 folks yesterday, and that was because that was the limit of the room. We actually had people who were clamoring to get in, and that was just so gratifying. And again, just being able to be in community with folks who aren't that represented in the business. When you take the pictures, you just see the joy on people's face, because that's just a rarity in water, unfortunately, but we're moving in the right direction. So that's another real highlight for me. So.
Well, great positive impacts. I think everyone recognizes that. So thank you for your tenure with WEF. And
thank you. It's been fun.
Yeah.
It's been fun. Good time. Highly recommend it.
And for everyone who's watching, you can check out our video description below. We'll have a link to our interview with Ifetayo from last year as well as some other WEFTEC videos from 2023.